Hi everyone. Well, before I start my Sailor Moon Crystal Act 29 review, I want to give you guys a little heads up. My headphones have been giving me trouble today, and so I'm going to contact the company tomorrow, and hopefully they'll fix it. I'm losing audio on one side, so if you can't hear me or it cuts out, that's why. So let's get started. Today I'm going to be reacting and or describing Sailor Moon Crystal Act 29 review, my Sailor Moon Crystal Act 29 review. This is called Act 29, Two Soldiers, I believe, and it takes place right where Act 28 left off. At this point, Sailor Moon, or Usagi, is trying to she's still shocked from when Sailor Uranus kissed her. And she's not really paying attention to what the scouts or guardians are telling her. She's still saying, I only kiss Mamoru, I've only meant to kiss him. So she's still basically in her own world. Mehmet takes over. Eugil is gone. Mehmet takes over for this assignment. And what's different in the 90s versus now is Kaori Knight does not really attack the Guardians right now. She is the one giving orders. Whereas in the 90s, she was the one sending out the monsters for the Sailor Guardians to fight, and Dr. Tomo was giving her the orders to do so. But in this Sailor Moon Crystal, he is more in the shadows. He's not really had a big role yet. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. But anyway, so Usagi runs into Haruka, and she's telling her that she's not really supposed to really run into her because the Guardians are telling Usagi to stay away from Haruka, and Haruka is saying, I just, if I can remember correctly, it's been a long day, she was saying, I didn't mean to come here, I just wanted to. And so they get to talking a little bit, and Haruka gives Usagi tickets to Michiru's violin performance and tells her to come. Well, we cut to Chibiusa at school, and her friend, I don't know the Japanese name, I am sorry, she brings a picture of them together at school and tells her, after the amusement park when your hat flew away, you said you'd be back, and you hadn't. And she's kind of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. So then Chibiusa kind of thinks about Hotaru and brings her that cloth that she used to heal her arm back, and Hotaru tells Chibiusa to come in. And they get to spend some time together in her room, and Chibiusa notices that Hotaru's room is all dark with lots of lanterns, and Hotaru explains that she likes the dim lighting. Hotaru also tells her that she was in a severe accident when she was little. That's why she wears the long black outfits. Well, in the 90s, they didn't really explain what happened to Hotaru, why she's so weak and everything. Well, they kind of did in the 90s, because in the 90s, Mistress Nine was using her as a host, whereas in the Crystal, she is also being, I believe, controlled by Mistress Nine, but in the manga, she was portrayed as a cyborg. So she was being used as her father's experiments. And Hotaru tells Chibiusa that, her father's a brilliant scientist, but all his experiments don't always work. So then when Hotaru gets an attack, she tells Chibiusa to bring her that pendant that her father gave her in the last episode, explaining that with that pendant, it helps her kind of control her attacks. Well, Chibiusa takes out her brooch and opens it and shows Hotaru the silver crystal. I don't know how to say that in Japanese. I'm sorry. So yeah. And then Hotaru touches it and starts to feel better. Well, we cut to her leaving Hotaru's house, and it's getting dark, and she's saying, I need to get to Usagi's house. And she's blown away, or startled, not blown away, but she's startled by a helicopter. And Haruka shows up and tells Chibiusa that she's friends with Usagi and she knows them well. She knows her well. So Michiru and Haruka take Chibiusa to Usagi's house via helicopter ride, and they keep talking about talismans, and they ask about pendants. Chibiusa asks them about, like, do they have any special pendants, and they really don't say much. So when Usagi sees Chibiusa outside, she runs to her, and stuff. So another thing that happened in today's episode was we got to see when Kaori Knight was talking about the talismans, we got to see everybody sleeping, and we got to see a vision of what was going to happen, kind of like we did in the 90s when Sailor Mars and Sailor Pluto showed us that the darkness is coming, and things like that. So we got to see a little bit of the crystal version of it, but we didn't see much. We just saw a lot of the Guardians laying around playing dead, but we know they're not dead. So at the concert, Minako, I believe is how you say Venus's Japanese name, she sneaks off to another concert and disguises herself as a Mugen School boy to get in. And she alerts everyone while they're at Michiru's concert and tells them that there's a monster that's attacking. So they show up and everything. And we finally, after Sailor Moon uses the Spiral Heart Attack to destroy the monster, not Nanette, but destroy the monster, we finally get to see Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune use their attacks. And so that's kind of where it ends. In the second episode in the 90s for season 3, Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune really didn't help out at the second attack. I don't think, if memory serves me correctly. No, they did not. So yeah, that was different in the 90s versus Crystal. In Crystal, they've actually kind of helped at the Crystal, it was the third attack, but so yeah, they've made an appearance to help them attack the monsters, but we didn't get to see them do their henshin. So it ends with Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune on a stage, and so that ends Act 29, Two Soldiers, for Sailor Moon Crystal. If you have any questions, or if I left anything out, please let me know in the comments, and I will go over that in the next video next week, if I can get it up in time, of course. So, there you go, everyone. Bye-bye, Moonies.